What's going on, guys? So today's guest is actually Tim from the channel Toons Reviews, and we will be conducting an interview.
Yes, we will.
So we have the unfiltered Tim, the unscripted Tim. So anything that Tim says gets a pass. So you know what? I just might get a few private messages from people saying, "Why?"
Yeah, you should probably go ahead and just put it out there that you're not affiliated with my opinions necessarily.
And I'm not affiliated with anybody because I got a few messages when I did one with Eugene. So, all right. So these are the same questions that I ask pretty much everybody. So, have you watched any of the interviews that I've done with you previously?
Yeah, I watched. Well, first of all, I'm a Mark fanboy, so you did Mark's. I watched Mark's, and I absolutely fucking love Eugene. We have a very similar personality, so I got about halfway through his.
All right. So it's nice to get one of the old school guys, even though you're a lot younger than I am. You know, you've seen a lot of the changes. All right. Yeah. So question number one: what does Toons Reviews mean?
Toons Reviews. So it was originally Toons 91. 91 is the year that I was born in, and Toons is Tim Coons put together. It was a nickname for me in high school. I never played sports. I actually despise sports. I can't get into it. I don't understand them. Call that the pretentious artist in me. I don't know. But so my nickname came from Toons because they just put Tim Coons together, and there you go.
All right. So what was the first fragrance that got you hooked?
Yeah, I actually have it with me. If you've never tried it, it's Bond Number 9 Silver Factory.
Never tried it.
Yeah, well, I'll have to give you a little spritz of that and let you try it. But yeah, I remember I had tried, I don't know, a couple of the Creeds, Virgin Island Water, Millesime Imperial. I really liked them, but when I smelled Bond Number 9 Silver Factory, it had that incense amber iris thing going on, and I was like, holy shit, that's something. That's something new, unique. It's been discontinued, so.
I think a number of the fragrances have
New Harlem too. Like, what the fuck?
Get out of here!
Yeah, that was like a staple. I mean, whether you like it or not, it was a staple.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest sellers, I think.
Yeah.
So
And
I've just been getting into the house as of late, but their price tag is just.
And for what the quality too, it's.
And I agree with you on that one. All right, so what is your all-time favorite fragrance for men and women?
For men, oh Jesus Christ, I have a couple. I guess if I had to choose one forever and ever, that would be my signature scent. It would be Creed Royal Oud.
I would have guessed Aventus or Broventus.
Yeah. I bet you would have. Aventus. No, not Aventus. I do like Aventus. It gets a lot of shit, and I give it shit because it deserves some shit. But I'd say it's a toss-up between Royal Oud and Tobacco Vanille. I'm a huge Tom Ford fan. I absolutely love that fragrance. Those two have floored me from day one that I wore them up until now.
And both of those are unisex, so would that be your answer?
For women, I am this is going to be so silly, but it's a cliche, but I'm a sucker for D&G Light Blue for women. I love that stuff.
Classic.
Yeah, classic.
What is your all-time least favorite scent for men and women?
Oh God. I don't know if I have an answer for both men and women. I will tell you that I hate just about anything with tuberose in it. White Diamonds by Liz Claiborne.
Okay. I never heard of it, but I know who Liz Claiborne is.
It smells like cat piss. Oh. It's awful.
Okay.
I don't like anything heady, floral, fruity floral. I'm going to have a lot of the same answers as Mark and Eugene, by the way.
And that's okay, because some of these questions I forgot to mention will kind of like overlap, so your answers may be overlapping as well.
And I think for men, God, there's got to be something out there that just gives me an absolute headache. I'll tell you, when Etat Libre d'Orange, the sample of Secretions Magnifique went around way back in the day.
That's a novelty scent.
It is. It's a piece of artwork, but my God.
Yes. My God
is all I can say.
Igor is the one who introduced that with me.
Yeah, I did a review of it with Steven, and Igor was there actually, so that's funny. But yeah, that's bad. That's bad stuff.
So, we were discussing politics and PC culture. What are your thoughts on fragrances that are marketed as genderless instead of unisex now?
It's kind of a quick grab marketing ploy. It's an unfortunate thing, I think, for people to be utilizing that aspect of the social construct of what we're going through right now, of dealing with people that want to be referred to as they or whatever. So it's kind of a dipshit bullshit move, I think. Unisex is perfectly fine. I don't understand why that's not all inclusive. And by the way, I'm in the humanities program at school anyways. Like I've always been interested in psychology, sociology, whatever. I'm in the communications program right now, and I've studied extensively the history of perfume and where it came from. And kings used to wear florals. That's what they wore. It was like orange blossom and stuff like that. So it makes no sense to me that all fragrance altogether always should just be all-inclusive, no matter what. If I wear women's perfume, like Black Orchid, that's one of my favorites. I don't give a shit.
I don't have the balls to wear female fragrances that are like more floral or more fruity. That's that's just not me.
And that's fine. I would never attack you for wanting to stay in the male marketed fragrance lane, because that's you, and my personality is I don't give a fuck. So that's just me. I don't know why there has to be like a label put on we're being inclusive. It should just be, if you're buying it with your money and you like it, then it is inclusive. The end.
Okay. So next question. What is your first niche purchase?
My first niche purchase. Jeez. It was, I had two at the same time.
You started your YouTube journey at a very young age.
It was 2010.
So you were what?
I was 18 years old.
Oh, you've been around.
I have been around. I was in the same wave right behind Dan, rest in peace, and Brad. So right, like literally a couple months right behind them. And I think, I know I purchased them both at the same time. It was Virgin Island Water by Creed and Silver Factory by Bond Number 9.
Okay. How big is the collection?
My collection now is actually pretty lackluster. I don't really collect anymore. I will tell you, when I was in my peak of collecting, I had over 500.
Whoa.
And they were, as you know, if you watch, and this is not, the thing that I'm going to go off on a tangent real quick. The thing that I can't stand is like this being related to either niche or designer or lower end designer or high end niche. I don't give a shit. If it smells good, then it smells good and I'm going to buy it. I have CK1 Shock. I have Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. Those are staples for me forever.
Okay.
But I also love things that are, unfortunately, $300 or $500, and like Spice and Wood by Creed is like $600, and I love that. But most of my collection that was 500 was consisting of niche, and I had to kind of take a look at myself and my priorities and struggling through going through school and working full time and whatever. And I was like, I don't need all this, and I sold a bunch off for bills and whatever else, because that's unfortunately life sometimes. My collection right now stands at about probably 60.
That's a fair size.
Yeah.
What is the most expensive purchase you've made, and what fragrance?
Boy. So retail, I would have to say probably Creed Spice and Wood. It was not cheap.
No, it's not.
And it
smells amazing, though.
And I had to have, that, and it's such a simple fragrance, so it's one of those ones that pisses you off, because it's like, it's literally Spice and Wood. There's nothing complex about it. So simple. Why is it so expensive?
Yes.
But I have to have it.
Yeah.
And so that was probably Creed Spice and Wood.
Okay. You've already answered this one, but I'll ask it anyways. How long have you been doing this YouTube bit?
I guess it's about 10 years.
Yeah, you said 2010.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Are there any business ventures that you would be open to if a company approached you?
100%. 100%. And I'll tell you the reason why I think that it would be important for me, of all people, to do it, or anyone who looks at this through the same scope as I do. I look at this as an artistry. This is not a marketing ploy for me. This is not a way for me to get ahead. I have my hand in a lot of cookie jars. I do a lot of things. I have a podcast. I do movies. I have written 2 books. I just love creating, and I would bring something to the table that would be unique, or speak some part of my persona for everyone to pick up on, I guess.
Okay. This question will kind of intertwine with your answer just now. So if a company came up to you and asked you to create a scent, would it be indie, niche, designer, and what would you call it? If
I was given like full creative liberty, obviously I'm not stupid enough to think that I could come up with a composition as well as like Olivier Polge or something like that. But if I was given the creative liberties to go through the process, I would probably stick to niche. or a high-end designer. One of the two. Doesn't matter which one. I guess high-end designer for people to make it a little bit more affordable would be nice. But there's niche that are affordable. Like Serge Lutens or something isn't that bad. It's like $120 or whatever.
For department.
Yeah, I would so I guess the best way I can answer that is I would like to keep it in a specific price range.
Okay.
If it was niche, I'd like to keep it like 90, 110.
Well, what would you call if you were to create your own fragrance? What would you call it?
I actually have it written down.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Geez, okay.
Millennials and their phones.
Well, what's funny is I'm gonna break off real quick for you. Back in 2013, I had a really good friend, Josh, and he and I went and purchased all these fragrance oils, all the perfumers, alcohol, all sorts of bottles, whatever. And I actually tried creating my own line.
There's a few people that have.
And it's a lot more difficult than people would like to think.
I'm sure it is.
And so this is going to seem really, really strange to you. The fragrance name that I'd want it to be would be The Humming of the Thruway. And the reason why I would want it to be The Humming of the Thruway is there's a really interesting connotation that I have with the sound of that. Have you ever heard like the humming of the thruway, like at nighttime and the dead of night?
No.
It's just like this whistling noise. And I grew up on a huge farm, and me and my cousins all used to go camp in the back of the pines, and we'd fall asleep to that noise, the humming of the thruway. It's very relaxing to me.
Interesting.
So I would want to make something that was relative to that experience I had growing up of the smell of like the maple and the pancakes and the campfire and the serenity of the nature and the pine sap. That's my answer.
Very interesting. That is a very artsy-fartsy type of name.
That's me. That's me.
Name 3 guys that you would like to collab with in person that you haven't done so.
Well, I first would like to say thank you so much for meeting up with me, and I really appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Because
I'm in Buffalo
genuine,
right now.
awesome guy.
Thank you.
Mark, because, you know, I could sound like every other asshole on here and say that he inspired me to do this, but he did. I mean, I watched people before Mark, like Cutlass Supreme SL, Brandon, or J.R. Ryder, but they didn't have the same kind of personality that I have, where I look at it as an artistry or whatever. I would say Mark. We have very similar tastes. We have very similar approaches to the long-winded, 20-minute long, in-depth, poetic, metaphorical thing going on.
True.
And I think he would be a pleasure to work with.
Okay, 2 others.
Eugene.
2 Canadians?
I would, if I could bunch them together, I'd say Eugene and Christo. Christo, I swear to God, has probably never uttered a word to me. We've never conversed, but I've loved him since he started years ago, and I think the dynamic of him being sandwiched between 2 assholes would be really funny. Eugene and I have a really similar approach to it. I know he and I have very different tastes, actually. He likes a lot more florals and stuff. He hates Mancera, and I like a couple and Montel and whatever, but I like him a lot. And I guess for the third, because I've worked with Steven a couple times, he was a pleasure. He was awesome. Joey Cannoli. Joey Cannoli, and I know that. See, this is exactly a point in case right here. It's not about the number. It's not about the number. I would rather just work with people that I know I'd get along with.
See, I thought you were gonna name off Jeremy Fragrance.
I would work with Jeremy Fragrance. I think he's.
I'm just being a dick.
No, I don't know why people hate him so much. I mean, I get it. He's arrogant, whatever. But like, more power to him. Fuck it.
Okay. All right. Name 3 past reviewers you wish were still around.
Okay. DK Mode. You probably never heard of him. His name is Dave.
Was he a bit of a rocker? Goatee?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, dude, are you thinking about the guy that was like into horror film, and he had like a collection? He was a big horror film fanatic.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's definitely a guy that was like that. DK Mode he's a really great friend back in the day, and him and Frunkinator, if you remember Ed.
Yeah, of course, met him.
They were huge. They were really good friends. We used to call each other on the phone all the time, like send each other shit all the time. So DK Mode, because he was very humble. Jeez, I'm not gonna be typical and be like Hyro. I don't really care for Hyro.
Hero?
Nah, not a fan. Not a fan. He's a cool dude, but not my style. Jeez, it's a hard one. Can you like give me some examples?
There was Sultan of the Scent.
Oh, Sultan.
There was Vitor. There was Cubby.
Cubby.
Paulie. Guinea.
I love Paulie, but he absolutely fucking rejects this now, so I wouldn't even want to bring him into it. I don't know, DK Mode, I really liked...
Hard question, huh?
Oh, geez, it's difficult, because there's so many that have come and gone. Vitor was awesome. I loved his... He had a very interesting sense in fragrance. I don't know.
Hey, V.
Hi, Vitor.
Can't answer it?
I really have no idea.
No worries.
It's really difficult.
All right. So what is the best between the three? English, French, or Italian perfumery?
French. 100%. There's no contest. I think that there's Italian brands that I enjoy. I do like Xerjoff, although they've watered their shit down quite a bit in the last couple of years, I think, with reformulations, which I'm not a fan of. I don't think any of us are. Especially when you're paying like $240 for a bottle for it to be more watery. But I've owned, Kobe, Uden. They have a bunch of good ones. But I think French perfumery, like Guerlain, is one of my favorite brands of all time.
You sound like Eugene right now.
Exactly. I mean, I knew this was going to happen.
And Mark.
I knew this was going to happen. There's no contest for me because, to be very upfront, I've had a cologne collection since I was 8.
Very young.
I have always associated, I've been far ahead of my time as maturity and whatever, and I've always associated scent with like all these little nostalgic nuances of life. So French perfumery, hands down.
All right. If you could only stick to one fragrance, what would it be and why?
One fragrance forever?
Oh, sorry, no. So if you can only stick to one fragrance company, what would it be and why?
That's really difficult. Oh, Jesus.
Nautica.
Dude, I like Nautica Voyage.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm telling you, I'm not a snob like everyone probably would perceive me to be.
Yeah, a lot of people think you're a bit of an asshole.
Oh, I'm an asshole. That's not what we're discussing. I'm saying I'm not a snob. I'm not a snobbish asshole.
You're just a dickish asshole.
Dude, Nautica Competition was one of my first bottles when I was in middle school.
That's hard to come by.
It's so good too. Like, it's so good. I would honestly, I know this is probably comes as no surprise, Tom Ford. Because they have such a great spectrum. Costa Azzurra, Mandarino di Amalfi for summer. Tuscan Leather is in Tobacco Vanille. I will not have a collection without those two.
Okay. And name 3 channels that you watch and never miss a video or hardly miss a video.
Dude, I don't watch anyone.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. Well, I watch you quite a bit because I like, again, it's about connection and how long. I like that you keep your videos to like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I can't. See, I don't have the gift of gab like you do. And I can't break things down like you or Mark or some of the other guys.
Well, and then I appreciate your approach to it too, being like a more humble approach.
Okay.
Because you have to have a little bit of everything, right? Like I like a little bit of variety. I like watching you. I like Steven is the most articulate one out of all of us, so he's super easy to watch.
I call him the professor for a reason.
He's great. He's very articulate. I love Brooklyn Fragrance Lovers' taste. We have literally like on point taste. So I don't miss one of his videos ever. And I don't miss Mark's videos, and I don't miss Eugene and Christo, and that's really about it. That's the containment that I left myself in.
Okay, all right. Yeah, thank you for watching my videos.
Yeah, I mean, you always come up with things that I've never even heard of because you stay in the more designer. Yeah. And I'm not really in that world anymore. So when you come up with some of these fragrances, I'm like, oh shit, that sounds good.
Well, like the one you're wearing right now.
And it smells good.
Trossardi Scent of Gold. So we're gonna be reviewing that one. The best thing about being on YouTube.
The best thing about being on YouTube, meeting assholes like you. No, I mean, it's ebbs and flows. It's changed throughout time. I would have said 4 years ago, that it was about connection and about the family aspect of being involved in all this, but it's changed so drastically that that's really just not the case anymore.
I understand where you're coming from.
I like to talk. I like getting my opinion out there. It's a self-expression, and I like sharing that with other people, and if other people can commiserate with me that way, then that's cool.
Have you ever been noticed on the street or in public? You've already mentioned this to me at the table.
Yep. Just a couple times, and the first time it happened to me, it really caught me off guard. It was so freaking weird, but really cool. Amitsu.
Simply put, sense.
Simply put, sense. Steven and I and Igor and Olya were at Min 3 or 4 years ago now, and we were just checking out some Amouage and Etat Libre de Orange and whatever, and doing a couple reviews while we were there, and he came up and he's like, I'm a really big fan of yours and Steven's, and that was so bizarre, because I've always had, no matter how long I've been here, because I've been here longer than most of all of you, I have always been a very small channel, so it's very bizarre to like have someone be like, oh, I watch you and you're 25, I'm one of your 2,500 subscribers.
Wow.
So that was super cool.
I find, like, I've been noticed a few times, but it still feels weird to me.
Yeah. It's like you're a celebrity, but you're not, because I'm just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
And I just do this because I enjoy it.
Yeah. All right, so the last question. What is the most funnest or proudest video you have ever done?
My proudest moment.
Proudest video.
Proudest video.
Or funnest video.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus. I gotta be honest with you. I like rocking the boat. And
those tend to cause a little bit of controversy.
One of my favorites, even though it's kind of negative, was the problem with the fragrance community today. Because I just tell it like it is, and I'm sorry, but if people are unwilling to mention the issues of the fragrance community and how much it's grown and whatever, the bullshit, the faux bullshit, then I'm here to do that. I'm here to provide that service.
Who was the person when you, he says, guy gave you your tea and he was like, go toy with you? Right, the gentleman you came with.
Yes, Adam. Adam, here he is. Hi. Adam is the co-creator of I've always had a co-creator. Oh. Not way back in the day I used to use my Apple, my Mac or whatever. Okay. But as of like the last 4 years or whatever, I've always had somebody using a camera because I don't want to edit it all. I'm I'm a lazy asshole. So
I understand where you go from. And that is it. So
wonderful. Well, I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks so much.
Thank you very much for doing the video.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna attach Tim's social media down below. I don't think that there's a lot, anyways. YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah. YouTube, Instagram, and you can add me on Facebook. I have no problem. It's my personal Facebook.
Okay.
But
Cool, guys. So we thank you for your time. Take care, and we'll see you later.
Catch you later.